Hey everybody, welcome to the post-battle kind of chat, I guess is the best thing, and my thoughts on everything and how it went. Overall, another fantastic game. I did, of course, make mistakes. I learned a lot, though. I never used light infantry in skirmish formation. Also, Scott's experiences with me probably more than some of you guys had, unless some of you guys are astute observers of my behavior. I struggle to follow directions sometimes. I'm kind of a creative thinker, which is a good thing and a curse. But with these scenarios, everything's kind of pre-laid out. It's all been pre-tested. It's all been play-tested, and it's and then try to follow historically and everything else. Then I get involved. I'm like, whee! One, I got the hill on the wrong side of the battlefield. Two, I think I struggled with the light infantry in skirmish formation, and struggled with the skirmisher rule with that. And I think I had too many units in skirmish formation, so it turned into a bit of a poop show with the trying to stick with what was what you're supposed to do. The cookbook following the ingredients. So that's just a day-to-day struggle for me, and I apologize if you were looking for a specific thing on, like, I want to play this scenario and see how it goes before I try it, or I tried it, I want to see how it goes on yours. I won't be a good control group because I'm basically out of control. Plus, I like to tinker with the orders of battle. I like to take advantage of having more troops on the battlefield if possible. So whenever it says a large unit, I usually split it into two. And then I try to make everything work within the confines of units I have when possible. So for British units, it's pretty easy to tell, especially to the astute observer, of what regiment each British unit is assigned to. I guess now it goes true for some Russian stuff and some Prussian stuff. From what in my limited experience in historical gaming, seems like the French and the Austrians and some of the other countries are a little bit more generic, and you can get away with, besides what I do, calling, this unit might have the flag for the 9th or some of the 10th, and then I can use it as the 101st because you need like an electron microscope to see the little numbers on the flags. And the fact that I used Austrians as Portuguese and Spanish, of course, that's just another point. I don't have the units, and I have Austrian troops, and I wanted to fight the battle. At some point, I'm going to do the 1813. I believe it's the Danube campaign is the other campaign that David Brown released, but I need to get to the point where I have enough of the right troops for that, so I don't have to replicate this proxy. But we'll see what happens. I might be doing that. And that might continue throughout this campaign, and I'll just try to make it look as good as possible, and I'll let people know what's going on, and then I'll have tags on the certain units, of course, which just makes it easier for me to identify in the battle report, which most of my battle reports are pretty long anyway. So if I was going to be picking up units and flipping them over and looking at what's laminated on the bottom of a command card, or a command like this, doing this every 10 seconds, it might turn already a 3-hour battle port into a 14-hour battle port. Just looking down and going, oh, 3rd Battalion, 12th Léger. Yeah. And I apologize if that, having these tags out here ruins any aesthetic of your gaming. That's just something I need, and it works for me, and I think it makes a better battle report from what I can tell. And I'm always tweaking battle reports and stuff like that, trying to make it a little better. I bought a new building. Where the heck is it? It's somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's, oh gosh, you love this when I do things like this. It's in that pile somewhere. It's from Sarissa. It's from the Roman stuff. It's like a Spanish-looking building, but from the Roman series they have. It looks really cool, a little compound almost like my stable that I have that I got from another guy, Charlie Foxtrot. Sorry about that. I was stalling, trying to remember the name of the company. But I think it'll be good, and I'll get it together, and I'll have another building looking Spanishy or Iberian Peninsula looking. And if my buildings aren't the best, I just kind of I do everything gray with a black roof, just so I could use my buildings in as many different time periods as possible. And I'm lucky that I did buy 2 Spanish buildings from Charlie Foxtrot early on, and I don't think I did a really good job of putting them together. Thankfully, the models were good enough to compensate for my lack of skill. But it's kind of nice having period-specific stuff for the right period. So, and I want to get looking more into Sarissa and get some more of those high walls they have, and then I want to get more of the European style buildings, especially the ones from like Waterloo, because that's really great having those little compounds that they have in their line. I mean, at some point I'd love to get Hougoumont and La Haye Sainte, but that's down the road. Yeah, way down the road. I think I'll when I do have time to paint, I like to paint miniatures, and terrain, unfortunately for me, sometimes takes a back seat just because it sometimes disappears into the background. But you really can't have a good game without good terrain, or at least semi-good terrain. So yeah, but I'll continue to work on my painting of my troops, and I'll continue to work on my painting of my buildings as well. But I just wanted to pre-apologize for that. As for the battle itself, it went really good. I think it was an uphill fight for the French. The fact that they had a lot of reserve units compared to, and no veteran or elite troops compared to the British having some elite troops, plus having more troops than they had in the first place was problematic. I think this attack over here on the right on the hill, unintentionally, I might have tricked myself, ended up being a great diversionary attack, because it tied up Moranson's brigade, and also when I brought on the reserves, it ended up tying up St. Paul's brigade, and that put a massive amount of pressure on Sugiana, and I can't remember who died. Oh, Ray, in the center here. His brigade got absolutely butchered. They got destroyed. And when Montfort came in over here on the left, I mean, he had just had 2 reserve battalions, and he was trying to support the gentleman that was defending Sugiana against way too many forces, and especially the elite Highland brigades along with the 88th. They just ended up being too much. And by the time Byng finally started getting his act together, I think that's the only thing that probably saved the French. It slowed down the attack on Sugiana, and that might have actually won it for him, because then that was the decision on where do I send St. Paul or where do I send Montfort, and I ended up putting the better units over here, because I thought the Spanish and Portuguese were going to break through, and that actually weakened the left, and that's where basically the entire victory took place. The French over here were doing fantastic. They basically, it was a stalemate the entire battle until they finally started slowly just stepping back, because all this pressure started coming in from O'Callaghan and Byng breaking through the center. And then they were like, oh gosh, our left is totally exposed, as the British basically opened up the center of the French line like a can opener, and then they started attacking this direction into both sides. And that was all she wrote, because then you had your two brigades broke, and then Montfort's brigade over here probably should have broke earlier, because I forgot that reservists have less stamina or less casualty threshold compared to the regular line and the elite and the large. So it's a couple of those units that were still in the fight should have broke sooner, and that was definitely on me. Overall, casualty-wise, it was pretty horrific. And I'm going to keep track of all these casualties throughout the entire campaign for each battle. So then we'll get a total casualty count at the end of the entire Vitoria scenario book for the entire battle. And I'll kind of, we'll take a peek and see if we end up doing more casualties in here than we do in the real one. But we'll see. The French had 11,650 men and 18 cannon, and they lost 4,065 killed, wounded, or captured, and 16 of their guns were destroyed using Scott at Check Your Leader TV's little calculator thing, which is awesome. He's got that on one of his videos. You can just kind of look through his stuff. Which was a 35% casualty rate, which is pretty brutal. I don't think it was as bad as the combat at Osma. I think we were up in the up near 50% casualties there, but still 4,000 casualties was heavy duty for this battle. Especially, Scott pointed out the traditionally the attacker suffers more casualties. The Allies had 13,100 men and 18 cannon. They lost 2,985 men. They had 2 guns destroyed for a 23% casualty rate. So pretty brutal. Pretty. It's pretty epic as far as I'm concerned. It was an awesome battle. The British guns did awesome, but the fact that Cadogan's Highland Brigades, along with the 88th Connaught Rangers, took as many casualties as they did, and we're still in the fight. We're still dishing out damage, and we're able to not run away was amazing. They fought their way through, one whole side of Subgiana. Then they came up against Montfort's brigade and drove them back and crushed them. And they were definite MVPs. Once Bing got going, the buffs taking Subgiana was fantastic. The buffs were pulsing 2 more attacks. That was awesome. At first I thought anytime anybody attacks a village, it's going to be a joke. But the fact that they were able to hold out, it was good. It really helped that they were veteran troops. And it helped also that the French didn't have post of honor available. They ended up having to use their 2 CNC commands for other things just to stay in the fight as long as they did. And also the other 2 battalions in Bing's brigade sweeping around this side and then joining up with O'Callahan's brigades, and then basically once they were able to team up on the French in the center on Ray's brigade, that was it. They just crushed them and peeled open the center. So I think originally I was planning on coming around here and then, kind of stalling here. And Scott had even told me to have more units up on the right-hand side where I screwed up. I should have had more Allied troops up there. But it ended up being, diversionary, which pulled to both sides, and then the center just kind of buckled as the Allies overloaded the center, and then basically now you've got 2 flanks getting outflanked because your center's totally gone. But yeah, it's how it worked out. The dice were great. Buying my new dice was pretty awesome. I enjoy the feel of those bigger dice compared to the smaller ones. They seem to roll better. My old red dice for the Allies was horrible. For some reason, it seemed to roll good for the rebels, but whenever you got out British troops, they just went to complete poops. I don't know what was going on there. But it seemed to go pretty well. And even though the Allies did lose the last battle at Osma, this was a massive victory, and the casualty counts at Osma were insane. I mean, General Rail, yeah, he held out, but losing 50% of your troops is no bueno overall, probably, for the situation. Even though they were able to put two 2 units over here, another brigade to reserve, but they, you know, I don't know what kind of impact they had. They might have slowed the British steamroller down a little bit. So what's up next? I've just finished painting. I'll show you them in a minute. I just finished painting Austrian Dragoon unit. I did 2 brigade commanders for the Austrians. I've got a 3rd ready to go here. I've also got General Gneisenau. I'm going to do his corps or divisional, it's like a whatever stand, I can't remember what it's called. But I'll have him done. And then, what else do I got? Oh, and then I took 2 French infantry battalions that needed to be rebased, and I retouched them up and got them ready for the battlefield. Still working towards the 1815 campaign, but I'm not sure what's going to happen next. I still have an artillery piece to put together. I have to look to see what I can put together in my spare parts I got from Mike Deslorey. Because, or Deslorey, I always, my French, you know, you guys know how bad it is, pronunciation-wise. Because I think I've got a Prussian cannon in here from Perry's, and if I have enough to make an Austrian and a Prussian over here, I'm going to make, I'm just going to make a stand with 2 Prussian guns, and go from there. And then I'll get another Austrian cannon. I need to expand my Austrian forces anyway. There's so many things I want to do with Austrians. And what else was I going to say? Oh, so then I'll have that'll be one of the last pieces I have left for my divisional game in the 1815 campaign. Getting Gneisenau done. 1 more brigade of Prussians, because then I'll have a full brigade, 1 more battalion, sorry. Then I'll have a full, brigade of Prussians of 4 battalions. I got 2 stands done of Prussians, infantry, or musketeers. I've got to put a couple touches on one of those guys. So then I have, I've got these guys already based up, a command stand of medals from of Prussian infantry from Perry's. And then I've got some pre-primed Prussian sprues, just enough to get to my 32 guys, so that won't take too long. Then I'll have 12 Austrian battalions, 8 Prussian, or 4 Prussian battalions, and 5 Russian. So that's 12, 16, that'll be 21 infantry battalions, which is pretty good. And that'll give me 5 brigades, not including the cavalry I'll get done, and then I'll throw in the artillery. And yeah, that should be. Then I'll have 2 batteries for the Austro-Russian Prussian troops. So, but that'll be it. I bought a couple things on Amazon that should be here today, which is I'm pretty psyched. This is Scott's idea. There is a massive time difference between. I'm on Central. I'm on Eastern time or New York time in America. But we're gonna do basically a chat like on using a Discord or a meeting app or something like that. I'm gonna set everything up, and then Scott's gonna basically zoom in and command the British in part 3 of the Vitoria campaign. So that'll be is it the Hill at Arinez? I think it is. I'll go over all of the forces for that at the end of this video, and how I've interpreted it, order of battle wise. And now that I've got those guys done, I'll show you the Austrians I've finished along with some of the French I've repainted up, and yeah, then we'll be able to get right into that game, unless Scott wants to call an audible and do the 1815 campaign first. I'm just kind of working to both. I'm just continuing to keep my options open to pivot to whatever he's did. He's still working through his therapy or his physio, I think he calls it over in Australia, for all the muscle stuff he took on his back. and he's been driving like a madman because his son's playing. He's a hockey goalie, and he's been driving back and forth to all these games. And he keeps the son's team keeps winning, so he keeps having to drive back and forth. But I think his kids are back in school now. He's had his vacation with his wife, so I think he'll get back to more normalcy. I'm sure he'll be continuing his tips and chips, or was it tips and tactics for GDA 2, and also he'll start off with the 1815 stuff that he's been going over in his mind. He's really dorking out on it, and I love it. He's kind of really nerding out on where Davout is at Mont Saint Jean, and he's in a horrible position because he's got the Prussians coming towards him. Napoleon's trying to get there, but then he's also got Wellington in his rear quarter at Brussels, and there's a straight road where basically Davout could get in a little bit of a poop sandwich, getting attacked from both directions while Napoleon gets there. And he's got the campaign map to see how everybody moves through the squares. And that, I guess, using that map from the Blücher rules. So that's kind of cool. All that stuff that he thinks of is next level as far as I'm concerned. But it'll be fun for me to play against Scott. I will lose because the only advantage I'm going to have is Scott won't be able to see the dice rolling, so I can try to be chintzy. Oh, I rolled double sixes again, Scott. I won't do that to him. But it'll be I'm sure it'll be a blast. So I think time-wise, probably about like 6 o'clock. My time is like I think like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. for him. So playing around that time, and after I get home from work, we should be able to knock out 3 or 4 hours, hopefully. If it takes more than a couple sessions, that's just fine by me, because I like to play and edit anyway. But I don't want to keep Scott tied up on a screen down here. Well, what I bought on Amazon, I forgot to say, is I bought some Cat 6 cable. I'm going to run it down through the ceiling, and then drop a little network hub back here, and then I'll have my laptop here, and I bought a really long cable, basically, so I can run a camera attached to the computer. So Scott will actually, I'll literally have a little tripod, and I'll put it behind, I think it's General Picton is the CNC for the Allies for this next battle. So they'll just put that behind Scott, and just kind of maybe that'll be with the advantage. Instead of cheating on the dice rolling for me, I'll be able to see everything, and Scott will just get the perspective of what Picton can see. So that's a good, that might be a good handicap for me, since Scott's got all those years of being a playtester for GDA and GDA 2, and then also just teaching command school and officer training school for the military. So yeah. If we were doing a battle where it was to keep a person alive, some kind of simulation like that, I'd probably win, but this would be a little bit different. All right, so we'll take a little pause. I'll show you the units, and the nice thing about this next game is it's going to be lengthwise. It's instead of running east-west here, I think it's, yeah, that way's north for me. We're going to be running like 8 foot going this way. My table's too long for the actual real battle, so I might include some of the just some stuff, so it's not like a blank. The British in this attack, one of their spies found out a bridge over one of the rivers was unguarded. So he led down Picton's forces. They crossed the bridge, and they were moving towards this hill, and the French spotted them after they'd gotten most of their units across the bridge. So I might put the river over here in the bridge, which won't play a part in the game at all. And then the French spotted them, and like the first cannon shot, I think, actually took the guide and blew him into pieces. So it was kind of like, oh well, you did your part, buddy. Thanks for helping the team out. And he got blown to pieces for being what he did. So. And then they'll attack all the way down here. There'll be like a village over there, or some hills in the way, and then the the actual big hill will be the hill at Arinez will be over here, which will be one of the objectives to catch it. I'm going to measure it out, so it's about 8 foot. So even though we'll be using a 15-foot table, we're really going to be playing on the actual size table that they recommend in this scenario. Otherwise, I think it's 18 turns, this one. So they keep getting longer. I think we were at 10 at game 1, and then we were at 16 at game 2. Now we're at 18. There is cavalry involved in this one, so that's cool. I don't have 2 British Hussar units, so one of them will be Prussian, and the French, they're supposed to have like two Chevaux Légers units. I'll probably use a Lancer unit instead. So they're not a line unit. I think they're Nassau Chevaux Légers, so they weren't. I think they were rated as reservists, so I don't think they get that Lancer bonus anyway. So that won't affect the balance of the game. All right, but we'll learn about that in the coming up in the next part. All right, you guys are great. Stand by to see the stuff I've just painted and touched up, and then we'll go upstairs and you get that different sound on my microphone as we go over some of the orders of battle for the game coming up, and I'll continue to. I'm gonna jump into. One I got to do Gneisenau, and I've got to do these last stand of Austrian brigade commanders, and also these Prussian infantry. Finish up the last 6 bases, so 24 guys, and then one cannon, and then we'll be in business. All right, you guys are awesome. Please keep the comments coming. I appreciate it. It's keeping me excited about this and all the help I'm getting for. Rules I'm screwing up, and I'm trying to remember them all too. This one I assume will go better the next game because literally Scott is going to be right here. So when I try to do something stupid, he's going to be like, nah. So don't trust me. Scott is not afraid to hurt my feelings, so he'll tell me what's up. We are both of us are going to Historicon, which will be cool. Scott's going to get there first, and I'm going to fly, and he's going to pick my stupid butt up at some airport, and then. We're going to hang out for a couple days there. I've never been to a conference before. I know Scott's been to a bunch, so this is going to be fun. And then I think we're going down to Gettysburg because he knows he's been 2 or 3 times to Gettysburg, and I haven't been once. So that's shame on me, but I might as well have him as a tour guide because I think he's studied every single inch. I think he even knows where the horses pooped. So it's going to be great for me to learn, and it's going to be great for me to see a part of American history. So I'm kind of excited for that. And that's whenever Historicon is. It's in July, I think. So I'm excited to take some vacation off work, too. All right, you guys are great. Hang on for the next part. A little bit of shadowing, but yeah, I should have done a different part of the table. But Austrian dragoons, excuse me, I can't speak English anymore. 16-man cavalry unit, and then 2 touched up French line battalions, touched up line brigade commander, and then 2 new Austrian brigade commanders. So, not bad. Trying to film these guys without making y'all throw up. I'm not doing a good job. And, yeah. These are older, I think, Vitrix, the French, and the Austrian dragoons are, of course, Perry plastics. So, which I'm kind of all in on Perry's right now. There's a couple Perry metals in there, but yeah, there they are, ready for the battlefield. And next up after this, we'll show you the orders of battle and the map of the hill at Arinez, I believe it's pronounced. And yeah, we'll go over all that, and then we'll finish it up. But there'll be a different sound here as I move over to my microphone. I don't know if this will look better on a big screen. It just feels kind of where I ended up setting them up. It's just kind of shadowed, so Sorry if that doesn't do well. I'm not known for my cinematography, but there we are. All right. It's kind of always great to have another cavalry unit on board. All right, here is a picture from David Brown's scenario book for Vitoria, and you can see the battle of, or the Hill of Arinez. You can see the areas that I'm going to try to replicate on the battlefield. This game will feature General Laval for the French. You'll be going up against General Thomas Picton. Oh boy, my boy Laval's got his work cut out for him because I think Picton's going to dominate him. Force size, the British and Portuguese have 14,400 men, 920 cavalry, and 36 cannon. Meanwhile, the French are going to have 12,800 men, 920 cavalry, and 36 guns themselves. So even on cavalry and guns, but a little bit of an edge to the Allied infantry. There's 1st Brigade for the French, General Macquerie. He's got 2 battalions of the 9th Léger. They're going to be Grenadier. And then 2 battalions of 24th being line battalions. See General Laval up top being a campaigner. General Macquerie is a standard brigade commander like all the French brigade commanders. General Morgan, 2nd Brigade commander, 2 battalions of the 88th, both line battalions, and the same for the 2 battalions of the 96. Also has 2 6-pounder artillery batteries, providing some of the fire support for the French forces. The foreign brigade for the French will be General Neuenstein, commanding 2 battalions of the 2nd Nassau of the reservists that are played by my Swiss, and 2 battalions of the 4th Baden that'll be played by my Bavarians. They're all reservists. General Raymond is the 4th Brigade. 2 battalions of the 28th, both line battalions, and 2 battalions of the 103rd. And thankfully, it's more line battalions than there were in the last game, where everything was not so much. A lot of reservists in the last one. General AV will bring in the French cavalry. I only have 1 Chasseurs à Cheval squadron, so I did a Chasseurs à Cheval and a Chevaux Léger, but they're going to be campaign in line for both of them. For the British, he picked in there. General Brisbane's going to command the 2nd Brigade, the 88th, the 35th, and the 4th. A little bit of play on units just because I needed to stick to units I have. They're all veteran with the bold Brigadier. Commanding the Polish will be General Power. He's standard brigade commander with 2 battalions of the 9th Portuguese, 1 battalion of the 21st of the reservists, and the 11th Caçadores, which will be Grenadier Battalion. This should be pretty good, hopefully. Represent the Portuguese Kingdom of Portugal with some, good stuff. General Kemp will be the 4th Brigade commander. This was kind of a weird one for me. 2 sections of the 95th Rifles. I'm just going to tie them together and make 1 battalion out of it. They're going to be elite. And then the rest of this brigade, I just did KGL, making them both veteran just to make it work better. I didn't have the units that were listed. General Vandeleur is commanding the 5th Brigade. He's got the Royal Scots, the East Essex, the 29th, the 23rd, and 2 9-pound artillery batteries for the British. I think with some special rules of one of these was Royal Horse Artillery or something like that, or Royal Artillery being an elite unit. I got to double check on that one. General Grant is commanding the British Cavalry, the 10th and 15th Hussars, both line but standard battle in line. I only have 1 British Hussar unit, so I will use. I have a Prussian unit, so they'll be subbed in as the 15th Hussar. So that's the forces for both sides. Here's some pictures of the, and I apologize for the shadowing. I ended up getting on this unit. I kind of lined them up when I got done to show them off. They're kind of in a bad place. These are the new Austrian Hussars I just got done. Or sorry, Dragoons. There's a better picture of them actually with the lights a little bit better. I also redid 2 French line infantry battalions and rebased a little bit and retouched them up. Also 2 Austrian brigade commanders and 1 French brigade commander there. So this next battle will be a live over the internet, me against or Scott against maybe my opponent. Should be fun as heck. Try to get a bunch of pictures of him, and everything should be good to go. This will be a lot of fun, and then we'll get right into the 18-15 campaign the second that's done. Hope you guys are great and have a great week, and we'll get some gaming for you ASAP. Take care now.